This is the Whisper Corner, and welcome to part K of my look at the best players of the Premier League by letter. So, if I say so myself, I think this is the strongest team so far. Lots of Premier League titles, lots of goals, a lot of strength and depth. Just like last time, I will start by writing the name of the manager, and this is a very attack-minded team, so I'm going to go for a manager beginning with K who doesn't know how to defend. So I've gone for Kelvin Kilbaum, and we're playing a good old-fashioned British 4-4-2. Now, in every position here, I have a wonderful player, except goalkeepers, where I have, they're okay. So I had 3 to choose from. You'll see when I write out the substitutes which ones I could have picked. They're all much of a muchness, really. But I've gone for Tim Krul, just for how good he used to be for Newcastle. Krul played 157 games for Newcastle, scored none, and as of this season he's played 26 for Norwich. So that's our goalkeeper. Looking now at a centre back. The first one is Vincent Kompany, a fantastic servant for Manchester City, Belgian international. He played 265 games for Manchester City, scoring 18 goals and won 4 Premier League titles. And he could have played a lot more if he wasn't injured so often. And his partner as centre back, I was sort of choosing between 2 players, but between the 2, one of them has won Premier League titles, so that's the one I've gone for, and that is Martin Keane. So I was surprised when I looked at Martin Keane's statistics that he played in the Premier League for 2 clubs, because it sort of shows how long the Premier League's been going for. That the first season of the Premier League, Martin Keane played for Everton. So he played 13 games for Everton, scored no goals. And for Arsenal, he played 310 games, scored 4, and he won 3 Premier League titles. In left back, I've gone for, I don't think he was a left back, but needed to fit him in. I've gone for Alexander Kolarov. Dangerous at set pieces. Kolarov played for Manchester City 165 times, scored 11 goals, and he's won 2 Premier League titles. Over at right back, this is another of the positions where I changed my mind a couple of times, but I went for Ledley King. So King was deemed one of the best defenders of his generation. He just got injured a lot, couldn't train much. He played 268 times for Tottenham and scored 10 goals. So next up, we'll go into our centre midfielders, and first of all we have Robbie Kane. So my Mr. Happy played 40 games in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest before moving and scored 6 goals before moving to Manchester United. He played 326 games, scoring 46, and won just the 7 Premier League titles. And his partner in midfield, I've gone for a current player, and that is N'Golo Kante. So Kante played 37 games for Leicester, scoring 1 goal in the season that they won the league. And then he moved to Chelsea for a big money transfer. He has played 123 times and scored 9 goals, and he won the title with Chelsea as well. Now, on the left wing of this team, I've gone for perhaps a surprising name, but back in the late 90s, early noughties, this player was pretty damn good for one club, and that is Harry Kuehl. In my notes, I've got Harry Kuehl Leeds, because Harry Kuehl Liverpool was not so good, or not as good. So Harry Kuehl for Leeds. He played 185 games. I can't count or read, 181 games, and scored 45 goals. He then moved to Liverpool, where he played 93 games and scored 12. And going back a bit further now, for the right wing, further in time, we have, back in the late 90s, Andrei Kanchelskis. So Kanchelskis was a Russian international. He played for Manchester United 123 times, scoring 28 goals, won 2 Premier League titles before he fell out with Alex Ferguson and moved to Everton, where he made 52 appearances and scored 20 goals, which is, good for a wee team like Everton. So, coming up now to our strikers. Well, one of them is obvious, and that is Harry Kane. So Keane has played 198 games for Tottenham, and he has scored 136 goals. A goal machine. And his partner, I could have went for other players. Well, 1 or 2 other players. But I've gone for the sheer number of goals scored. And that is another Keane, Robbie Kane. So Robbie Kane played 46 games in the Premier League for Leeds, scoring 13. In 2 spells, he played 238 games for Tottenham, scoring 91 goals. For 6 months, he was with Liverpool, played 19, scored 5, and then towards the end of his career, a couple of loan moves, 9 games for West Ham, scoring 2, and 6 games for Aston Villa, scoring 3. And a little bit of trivia when I was looking up his information. He's the only player in football history to have scored at least 1 international goal in 19 consecutive seasons. So there you go. So I think that's a pretty strong team, if you just don't let the ball get near the keeper. So we've got Tim Krul, Ledley King, Martin Keown, Vincent Kompany, Alexander Kolarov, Andrei Kanchelskis, Roy Keane, N'Golo Kante, Harry Kewell, Robbie Kane and Harry Kane. And now we'll look at our numerous subs. It's funny, I wouldn't have thought we had so much choice for K, but we had quite a lot. So going in order of what I have written down here, we have substitute goalkeeper Chris Kirkland, who played 23 games for Coventry. I was surprised at how few he played for Liverpool. He played 25 games for Liverpool and 131 for West Bromwich Albion, but he had a lot of injuries. Next up we have right back. I went for Ledley King over him, is Gary Kelly. Kelly played 325 games in the Premier League for Leeds United, scoring 2 goals. Next up was a striker who was in the Premier League for one season, and that was Jurgen Klinsmann. He played 40 games for Tottenham and scored 21 goals. This team should be sponsored by Tottenham and Leeds. Next up, the other Arsenal defender I was thinking of putting in is, what's his first name? I can't remember. Laurent Koscielny. So Koscielny played 255 times for Arsenal, scoring 22 goals. Next up we have a player that every team would love to have. That's what people used to say about him. Liverpool fans anyway. Dirk Kuyt. Just for the sheer effort he put into every game. Kuyt played 208 games for Liverpool and scored 51 goals. Next up, I decided to flesh this out a wee bit, just to have more strength and depth, a couple extra defenders and so on. So maybe not a super duper starship trooper player, but lots of Premier League experience. I've gone for Zat Knight. So Knight played 150 games for Fulham, scoring 3. 40 games for Aston Villa, scoring 2, and 94 for Bolton, scoring 2. Our goalkeeper that I was mentioned was, where did he go? There he is Casey Keller, the American international. He played 201 games in the Premier League, mostly for Leicester and Spurs, and a few games at the end on loan at Fulham. The other goalkeeper was Dean Kelly, who played 180 games in the Premier League for Charlton. So I'm just surprised how long Charlton were in the Premier League for, a good 5-6 years in a row. Another Irish international, but with over 300 games in the Premier League, is Kelvin Kilbaum. Kilbaum played 108 times for Sunderland, scoring 8, 104 games for Everton, scoring 4, 76 for Wigan, scoring 2, and 37 for Hull, scoring 1. And finally, that brings us to, where is he on my notes? There he is. We have Kanu. I haven't said his first name because I don't know how to pronounce it. So Kanu played 119 games for Arsenal, scoring 30, and 100 games for Portsmouth, scoring 13. So I think it's pretty clear to see this team has plenty of strength and depth. Extra goalkeeper coverage. Do you think I've been better off having Keller maybe instead of Krul? Klinsmann instead of Keane? Then Klinsmann only had one season in the Premier League. Yeah, so that's my team for the players beginning with K. Thanks for watching and cheerio bye.